Hello, I'm Doug Lapp, Rockland's Town Administrator. With me today is South Shore Regional Vocational Technical High School Superintendent Dr. Tom Hickey. We're here to provide a brief explanation of South Shore Tech's proposed building project and the proposed financial impact on Rockland taxpayers. Tom, thanks for being with me today. Can you briefly describe the proposed building project, including the upcoming election?
Sure thing. Thanks, Doug, for collaborating to get the word out about our project and the voting process. I know how much Rockland supports education, and I understand the importance of educating residents about our project and the voting process. Our plan is to construct a new school on our athletic fields behind our existing school on Webster Street in Hanover. The new building would help us address a growing waiting list and help meet many educational needs we currently lack, especially with small shop, classroom, and lab sizes and little to no common space. I'm very excited that the new building would add two new programs, veterinary science and plumbing. Plumbing's an obvious skilled trade that we should offer in our region, and veterinary science has a strong labor market demand and offers our families access to this type of education versus just having Norfolk Aggie and Walpole as an option. This building would open for the 2028-2029 school year. The project vote will take place on Saturday, January 25th, 2025, in all 9 towns. The timing of the election in January was to allow for enough time for our local election officials to wrap up the considerable demands of the presidential election, and I do appreciate all of the work of the town clerks in arriving at this date as soon as possible following the November elections. And I'd also like to take a moment just to say thank you to Rockland residents who attended the special town meeting on November 20th and approved our regional agreement amendment. With a rolling debt average formula coupled with the arrival of the new town Marshfield in our district, it means that it's very likely Rockland's share of this potential project will decrease from what's around 21% today to potentially 17% as we get closer to fiscal 31, which is the year that the project costs would roll on fully. We are still in the process of seeking approval from other towns on this regional agreement amendment in the month of December. In terms of the project, after 6 years of applying to MSBA, we entered the pipeline in 2022, and we told the state that our aging 1962 building is in need of state support, and I'm glad that they finally agreed. The state's going to provide a maximum grant of about $111 million, and the cost to our 9 towns will be around $163 million. And we're going to have tax impact information out in the very near future on our project website, southshoretechproject.com. Rough estimates right now is that the average assessed home in Rockland would probably see an increase starting in around fiscal 31 of between $250 to $300 a year. But we'll provide more detailed information very soon that will show how those costs will roll on. And along with our project website, feel free to contact me, folks, if you'd like more information. My email is thickey@ssvotech.org, or you can contact me directly at 781-766-4002. Thanks, Doug.
That's great. Thank you, Tom. That's really helpful information. As you all know, it's very important that Rockland voters understand that this is a regional ballot to approve this project, which means that even if a majority of Rockland voters vote against it, it could still pass if a majority of the entire South Shore Tech District votes to support it. The Rockland Select Board has decided to call a special election at the same date, time, and place as South Shore Tech's regional election on January 25th, so voters have all the information they need to make an informed decision. There will be 2 separate ballots, one from the regional school district to vote up or down on the school building project without any funding attached, and the other is a Rockland Select Board ballot to approve or disapprove a Proposition 2.5 debt exclusion to pay for Rockland's share of the new school should it pass at the regional ballot. If the project passes at the regional ballot and the project moves forward, it's critical that Rockland has the ability to pay for our share of the debt. If the project passes, but Rockland voters do not approve a tax increase to pay for it, then we'll be looking at significant budget cuts across every sector of our town operations, which will severely harm all of our public sector services for years to come. Rockland's financial share of this proposed project is currently estimated to be up to $35 million net of anticipated state aid, but it could be a little lower depending on future enrollment shifts. If this project passes, there will be very little cost to towns in the first year or two before they break ground. But once the construction project is really underway, the financial impact on the average Rockland property tax bill for a single-family home currently valued at $517,000 is estimated to be between $250 to up to $300 per year, again, depending on changes to our proportional share of future total enrollment. That means that the average annual property tax bill will increase by $250 to $300 for the life of the debt. And once the bonds are paid off in 30 years, then that tax increase will disappear. For homes valued greater than $517,000, the impact will be more, and for homes valued less, the tax increase will be less. Once other schools like Marshfield join the South Shore Tech District in the future, that will reduce Rockland's share of the debt, which will reduce the average tax increase accordingly. But that's hard to project right now. It's also important to remember that the new regional school agreement the town meeting recently approved in November will now update each town's share of the debt based on a rolling average of actual enrollment, as Dr. Hickey mentioned. So our share of the debt will not be fixed at one point in time permanently. It will update based on our changing share of total enrollment going forward, and in Rockland's case, it will likely decline. Lastly, voters should know that regional school building projects fall under different state laws compared to regular town projects. The biggest difference is that a town meeting vote is not required. The only way for voters to give their input is to vote at the ballot elections on January 25th. There will be no town meeting discussion or votes for this project. So in closing, Tom, thank you very much for joining me and doing this video. I hope this information is helpful for Rockland residents and voters. If it is, please feel free to share it with others. If you have any questions about the building project, please visit the website at the bottom of the screen or contact Superintendent Hickey. And if you have any questions about the financial implications of the project on your tax bills or questions about how to request an absentee ballot, please contact Town Hall. Most importantly, regardless of whether you do or do not support this project, please make sure to vote on both ballots on January 25th in Rockland. Thank you.